What's up, y'all? This is Will. This is my first pickups video. I'd say this is a slightly above average type of week for me. I usually tend to pick up quite a few games on Saturday mornings, go to the flea markets, and I used to go to swap meets, but out here in Albuquerque I don't know of any yet. I've been out here for a whole 7 days, so within that period of time I picked up a lot of crap. I'm going to start out with the only retail game that I purchased. Saints Row 4 for the Xbox 360. I try not to buy any games for their new retail prices. I usually don't like to pay more than $20 for a game if I can avoid it, but I do love the Saints Row series. I didn't have high hopes for this one going in, and it's alright if you kind of get past the idea that it's not really a Saints Row game so much anymore. It's more like a superhero fantasy type game, but it's decent. It's not too bad. I'm going to start out with the stuff that I got this morning. I probably went to maybe 7 thrift stores in the Albuquerque area. First thing I got, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Let me take it out of the plastic. Might help a little bit. I've never seen one of these before. It's a Batman plug and play. I'm not a real big fan of plug and plays, but I bought quite a few. I like them as game room decoration. And generally, if they're like $4, $3, I'll go ahead and pick them up if they look cool. And like I said, it's a Batman plug and play, and I think that's pretty cool. So for $4, I'll take it. At the same thrift store, this was at Savers. I got a copy of Bugs Bunny: Lost in Time for the original PlayStation. This one's complete for $5. Crash Bandicoot Warped, also $5. And Star Wars Demolition for the PlayStation, also $5. All those games are complete. Now, I kind of cringe a little bit at the idea of paying $5 for not necessarily great PlayStation 1 games, but these are games that I haven't run across in the time that I've been collecting. So I decided to go ahead and pick them up. I also got some PSP stuff. First off is a PSP UMD for $6. It's Beavis and Butthead. And again, I don't like really paying $6 for PSP games or UMDs at all, but it's Beavis and Butthead, and I love Beavis and Butthead. Star Wars Battlefront is something I've been looking for a while. $6, so I went ahead and took it. And Metal Gear Acid 2, also for $6. I've never played any of the Metal Gear Acid games on the PSP. I'm kind of shying away from them, or I have been shying away from them, because it's supposed to be some sort of card-based mechanics with it. I don't really understand it. And anything that seems kind of funny like that, if I'm not able to get into it easily, I kind of steer away from it. But I decided to go ahead and pick it up. $6 worth a shot. I also found a Sega Genesis Model 2 console only for $6. I initially passed this up, but then I thought about it. For whatever reason, I went back to get it. $6 is not a bad price, I think, for a console only, but I have like 10 or 11 of these, and I don't know why I keep buying them. But it's like, if I see them for $5, I can't just let them sit there, you know? I feel like I'm almost saving them from the dustbins of obscurity, if you will. And finally, at that Savers, I got a Game Shark version 2.1 for the original PlayStation, and it came with randomly with some AAA batteries. This one was $2.99. I'm probably gonna find somebody to give this to or sell it. I already have one. I don't know why I bought another one, but like I said, I hate seeing stuff like that just sit there for cheap. I don't know why. The second thrift store I visited, I got this Gamester controller for the Xbox. It was $4. I've never seen it before, but it's really bizarre looking, and I thought it was really cool. Apparently it's some kind of programmable controller. It's got 2 triggers on the sides, and all the buttons are in very different places from regular controllers. So I have kind of a fetish for bizarre and odd controllers, so I went ahead and picked that up for $4. At that same thrift store, I got a Sega Dreamcast for $8. This is actually my 3rd Dreamcast. I picked one up at a flea market about a month ago for $5. It looked like somebody had buried it in their backyard. It was just completely trashed and filthy. So I cleaned it up really well, opened it up and thoroughly cleaned all the components and whatnot. Put it back together and it worked great. This one looks actually really good. There's a little bit of dust on the lid, but otherwise it looked really good. So I'm not too sure what the hell I'm going to do with this. Next, I got Final Fantasy X2 for the PlayStation 2. This is also complete. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan at all, but if I see a Final Fantasy game for this one was $3.99, I'll probably pick it up. I might give it a shot. I'm not a huge fan of Japanese RPGs, so I'll give it a try, and if I don't like it, I'll get rid of it. I know a lot of people who do like to play Final Fantasy, so I'll probably just send it to them. Earlier in the week, I picked up, and I'm going in no particular order, I'm just going to run through all the stuff that I got earlier this week. I got Metal Gear Acid 1 for the PlayStation Portable for $5.99. A game that I've really been wanting to play again, Eternal Champions for the Sega Genesis. It's complete. There's a little bit of damage to the case on this side, but this was $4, I believe. NBA Jam for the Sega Genesis. I already had this, but it was cart only. I used to have a complete copy, but I got rid of it many, many years ago because I think the Genesis version of NBA Jam sucked, quite honestly. But it's for the collection, so yeah. Chester Cheetah Too Cool to Fool for the Super Nintendo. I believe that was $4. Bill Laimbeer's Combat Basketball for $1. This is an awful game. I remember renting this as a child. I've always been a big fan of basketball, but that is not basketball. I don't know what the hell that is. Riddick Bowe Boxing for the Super Nintendo for $1. I think the reason this one was $1 was it's got a chipped back on it, but it should work fine. I could probably just replace the back with some shitty game like Shaq Fu or something like that. Anyway, I remember this being a fairly decent game. For $1, I'm not going to pass it up. All these sports games I'm about to show you were $1. NBA Shootout 2003 for the original PlayStation. These are all complete. ECW Hardcore Revolution for the Sega Dreamcast. NHL 96 for the Sega Genesis. Who can pass up $1 Sega Genesis game boxed? I can. NFL Blitz 2003 for the GameCube. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. I know I've got to do a little bit better of a job. That's it actually for the sports games. I also got Scooby-Doo Unmasked for the GameCube for $4, I believe it was. This is some kind of Asian multi-cart. It's a 64-in-1 for the NES. I saw this, it was $10. It's interesting. I don't know if it's worth anything. I doubt it, but I think it's really cool for the collection. I haven't tried any of these out yet, though. I still haven't got my household goods delivered to me. Fist of the North Star for the NES. That was $5. I've never actually seen this in person, so when I did, $5 is a little bit more than I wanted to pay for it, but because of the fact that I've never actually seen it and I don't know when I'll see it again, I had to get it. Also, for the NES, Dance Aerobics for $5. I'm sure this is something I'll never wind up actually playing, but it's a complete copy. The box is in excellent shape. I'm not going to go ahead and open this up, but the card looks like it's never been played. The bottom of the board that you can actually see in there is totally white and it looks perfect. It's still got the little plastic baggie on it and everything, so I can't imagine this thing has gotten much use over the years, but it's certainly nice to add another box game to my NES collection. I saw these 3 games at a Goodwill earlier this week for $4. I passed on them because the discs are kind of rough and they're sports games, and not good sports games either. I'm not really a big soccer guy, but these are Sega Saturn games. I'm trying to slow down on how much crap I actually bring in, so when I saw these for $4, I was like, $4 is a bit much for a game I'll probably never get a whole lot of use out of, might not ever play. Striker 96 for the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn games are really hard to come by. I have a really hard time, even if they're shitty games like this, I have a hard time letting them go. But I did. I went back about 3 or 4 days later, and they were still there, so I figured, what the hell. Worldwide Soccer 97 and Worldwide Soccer, $4 a piece. Now, I ordered something from shopgoodwill.com. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that website, but basically, I don't know what the policy is, but Goodwill puts crap online instead of in their stores. I bid on this. I bid something, well, what I thought was the max that I was going to pay for it. And I just kind of let it sit there. I do that sometimes. I kind of window shop and say, hey, I bid, you know, whatever amount, thinking that somebody's going to outbid me at some point. But I did happen to win this one. I'm going to rant a little bit about the shipping that they use. This is an NES game. They shipped it in this huge box. It was card only. Shipping was $13. And I kind of shy away from using that website because they charge quite a bit for shipping. I actually just saw an NES and a few games on the website today. The shipping on those two items, I mean, it was like 3 cartridge games. It was $45 for shipping, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what the hell they're thinking over there, but they charge way too much. Anyway, I put a $41 bid on this. I don't know if I had actually looked at shipping or not. Shipping wound up being $14, $13 to $14. But I am happy to have this in my collection now. It's in excellent shape. It's Battletoads Double Dragon for the NES. Like I said, it's in great shape. It really looks good. I've made an effort to get more uncommon games in my NES collection over the past year or so. So I'm happy with that. As you can see, it's a lot of shit. I don't really know what the exact total of everything was, and I should probably tally it up. I know I overpaid on a lot of stuff, but I have an issue. I buy too much crap. When I see stuff, I don't know how to say, you know what, I don't need that, or that costs too much, or whatever. I buy too much shit. So hopefully by watching this and making these videos, I'll think twice or 3 times, because I already think twice. I sit there and I look at stuff for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I still buy it. But hopefully I'll see how silly it is to buy all this crap. And, you know, quite honestly, a lot of this stuff I'll never even play. It'll just sit on the shelf somewhere. And who needs fillers? The PlayStation 1 stuff, I really like the old PlayStation games. I grew up playing, you know, NES, Master System, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and the PlayStation was the first game system I bought on my own as a teenager. And I have a lot of love for those games. So I have no real issue buying, you know, mediocre games on PlayStation. But a lot like the Sega Saturn stuff, like I don't really need that. I don't need another Genesis. I really don't need another Dreamcast, but I bought it anyway. Maybe I'll be able to get some cheap cords and I'll be able to flip it or something. So that's that. That's that episode of whatever the hell this show is going to be called, if I ever even post it. So until next time.